Recover the SRV.
Voice input disabled.
Okay, so this is implementation of the Piper speech-to-text synthesis. It is running on my local machine here, and it's a Python thing, open source. Okay, where was my README file? It's under AI, under Mouth, under Piper installation, and that. So this is the project. There are a bunch of different voices. I only got 2 of them installed right now, or rather 3. I don't know if there are installation instructions for Windows. I'm running this on Linux. Probably there are. Today I just got introduced to this project. But anyway, so the voice swapping via the app will not work because the server, the Piper server, has to be started with a specific voice, at least as far as I understand. We're running Emma right now. Emmy. Let's see what the Emmy sounds like. So she's not going to be sounding like the Google voices, but A is free, and the way you enable it is basically you don't put anything in the Google TTS key, so it's leave it blank. And if you run the server locally, the server is listening on port 5000. If it is running, then it should be working. So the question is, how well does it sound? What kind of vibe do we get? How long will it last? Will it crash? Will it not crash? Whatever. It's just blind test, really. I just done programming this thing. I'm going to fly around, ask questions, scan shit, but we are testing voice. Let's see what it's like. Navigate to the next organic codex entry, please. Of course, it's not going to do anything because it's turned off. To turn it on. Navigate to the next organic codex entry, please.
Sufficient distance to take the next biosample. Heading to stratum paleus lime sample. Surface navigation. Distance 3.0 kilometers. Bearing 230 degrees. Moving away. Distance 3.4 kilometers. Bearing 238 degrees. Getting closer. Distance 2.2 kilometers. Bearing 253 degrees. Within 1,000 meters from target, look for landing spot. Moving away. Distance 596 meters. Bearing 339 degrees. Touchdown.
Deploy service reconnaissance vehicle.
Getting closer. Distance 593 meters. Bearing 340 degrees.
Kill the lights, please.
Getting closer. Distance 589 meters. Bearing 338 degrees. Getting closer. Distance 605 meters. Bearing 340 degrees. Getting closer. Distance 370 meters. Bearing 336 degrees.
Transfer power to engines.
Getting closer. Distance 127 meters. Bearing 335 degrees. Sufficient distance to take the next biosample. Organic scans for stratum are complete.
What other organics do we have to scan here?
Analyzing exobiology data, stand by. Krondor, we've got bacterium and tussock left to scan here. Organic sample detected. Tussock penates. First of 3 required. Samples must be 200 meters apart. Sufficient distance to take the next biosample. Sufficient distance to take the next biosample.
Recover the SRV, please. Navigate to the next organic codex entry.
Heading to tussock penates green sample. Surface navigation. Distance 1.8 kilometers. Bearing 58 degrees. Getting closer. Distance 2.2 kilometers. Bearing 36 degrees. Within 1,000 meters from target, look for landing spot. Moving away. Distance 845 meters. Bearing 270 degrees. Touch on. Moving away. Distance
Cancel the navigation, I
915
got a
meters.
visual.
Bearing 265 degrees. Navigation guidance off.
Deploy SRV.
Low gravity warning.
Organic scans for tussock are complete.
Recover SRV. Retract the landing gear. Enter Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And open the Galaxy map.
Route set.
Exit. Enter the hyperspace.
Frameshift drive charging.
Traveling through hyperspace to Flown QBP B37-8, a Class M fuel star. No traffic or deaths detected.
Fuel swapping. Fuel swapping complete.
Enable streaming mode.
Streaming mode is on. Prefix your command with word computer.
Well, so far so good, and it sounds very computerish, which probably a good vibe actually, come to think of it. It's kind of growing on me. No errors so far, which is also good. Well, let's see if I can fly around
Sounds
for about
good.
an hour.
Count. Keeping it computer-like works for us. Hyperspace jump successful. Traveled 71.029 light to Flown QBP B37-8. Next stop, Flown OWN B38-11. M-Class Fuel Star. 2 jumps left.
Computer, perform filtered spectrum scan, please.
System scan complete.
Anything interesting in the star system? Hold on. Streaming mode.
I'm listening.
Anything interesting in the star system?
Analyzing star system data. Stand by. Yo count, Flown Quebec Bravo Papa Bravo 378's a quiet binary setup. We've got landables on a 1 at 45 light seconds, 0.15 G, 200K or minus 73 Celsius, a 2 at 67 light seconds. Same gravity, 167K or minus 106 C, a 3 at 179 light seconds, 0.2 G, 94K or minus 179 C, B1 at 3457 light seconds, 0.05 G, 81K or minus 192 C, B2 at 3539 light seconds, 0.06 G, 59K or minus 214 C, all high metal or icy, loaded with iron, sulfur, carbons, no bios, geos, or signals though, pristine finds. Voice input disabled.
Well, the benefit is that when you get a large response like this, because it is local, it pretty much works right away. The only delay is to LLM and back. And local LLM is something that is coming, but unfortunately I ran into a bit of a problem. I need a second computer to run it on. And my other second computer is a puny, tiny 2012 MacBook that runs Debian Linux on it, of course, not Mac. But running LLM on that is absolutely hopeless. And I think if I put it here on my main desktop, it might actually use up the resources. And I know I should try it, but ideally it would be a second PC running as a server for local hosting, which I don't have at the moment. But one day there'll be probably the hardest part would be to do local speech to text, because well, I don't know. We'll see. If I can find a good speech to text model that is very well trained, maybe it's even better than the Google one. So no voice switching. Probably I should disable personalities, because rogue personality with this kind of voice is going to sound real cringe. Keep it in the casual or professional, so that it really just sounds straight up like a onboard computer, which is pretty much what it's supposed to be doing anyway. All right, let's get out of here. They're not pushing a button.
Systems offline. Good afternoon, Krondor.
Let's go to the next waypoint.
Frameshift drive charging.
Traveling through hyperspace to Flounth OWNB 38-11, Class M Fuel Star. No traffic or deaths detected. Hyperspace jump successful. 70.541 light to Flounth OWNB 38-11. Next, Flounth QHMB 39-3, M-Class Fuel Star. 1 jump left. Congrats, you're the first here. Voice input disabled.
How is it different to the voice attack? You see, voice attack, you would have to program specific commands and you would have to utter them just same way. This thing works through LLM, so it infers your command and infers your query from natural speech. And a voice attack on Windows, which is what it was made for, uses Windows built-in speech-to-text recognition thing, which is a thing that has been discontinued. At least they're not making any changes to it anymore. And might actually remove it from the machine altogether, because they're pushing everyone to the cloud. Besides the thing that Windows still have, and used to have that thing that voice attack uses, I forgot what the name of it is. The training for it is you are the only data point. You're the only one who's training it. LLMs I trained on quintillion different ways of saying things. So they much better at voice transcription. Like voice attack on my Windows VM, when I ran Windows VM, it could not understand me at all. Perhaps because I speak with an accent, or perhaps I didn't train it enough. Google understands me very well. Slight problem that I'm having right now is that in order to trigger actual send to Google for transcription requires a pause, of the quiet pause, and I need to adjust audio calibration. Audio calibrator, this thing that figures out the RMS, the low and high values. The low value is the noise floor, just the noise on the mic, and high value is when you speak. Because if we send all the data to the cloud for processing, then it ranks up the bill real quick. The way it works now, I can yak 8 hours a day playing the game, and my bill at the end of the month is like $4. So right now, if you're interested in what it actually cost running it in the non-local clouds, like for full-on speech-to-text, text-to-speech, and XCI or OpenAI, it will be about $4, $5 for the speech-to-text back and forward, and about $4 or $5 for the LLMs. Implementing all of this locally will remove that payment completely, but it will increase the payment on electricity. Have you tried the new local Chinese LLM? I did not know one existed. I know that the Chinese are working on LLMs as well, but I didn't know if one existed. The one that I started developing for is Olama, and Olama has a bunch of different models that can be pulled and used. But again, I need a second machine to actually truly try it on, so that it's not bugging this one. Because running the game, running development environment, and if I'm streaming, also running streaming, streams and the game, that actually taxes the GPU quite a bit. I'm running NVIDIA 30 something, rather 3090 I think it is. I don't know, maybe I'll try running the LLM on this machine today and configure it to use only 50% capacity, so it leaves the other 50% for everything else, and see how that goes. I'll try that. How do you get the AI agent to interface with Elite? Back in the day, you had to do remote proc calls or hassles. It's quite simple, actually. It's just like right now we're rocking Grok. I'm on the Grok right now, so this is the client. It is just an HTTPS connection. You do post, and you pass the key in the header as authentication bearer. You construct a JSON object, and it's a JSON post. It replies in JSON as well, and then there is a system that creates the prompts. The APIs are exposed, and the same with OpenAI, same with OpenLlama, or Olama rather, except that Olama is, you pointed to, like, instead of this URL here, api.x.ai in this case, it will be 127.0.0.1 if you run it on a local host, or your local network address, whatever that is. Elite has an API I can interact with? Yes, it does. The way they do that, the legal API. So there is a legal way to do things and illegal way to do things. illegal way to do things is if you're using unsigned DLL to hack into the memory. That's a bannable offense if they detect. Legal way, which is what we're doing, is to read JSON files. Where I'm at, pwg, working directory, cd games, and I'm running Steam, so the Steam is way in that long ass directory. I just make links to it, so I can just go journal, cd journal, and these are the files in there. So let me show it in the more user-friendly format like this. So these are the files, and game simply dumps these files over in here. Kate, let's take a last log. This is the log that we are parsing right now. This is what this log looks like. Each line in this log represents an event. These are all JSON file, JSON format events. It has a timestamp, the event name, which is what we're looking for, and then a bunch of data. And the way the software interacts with it is JSON parser. Why are you searching in libraries? Why are you not searching while searching? Game API, there it is, JSON parser. So it's a thing that it runs in its own thread. It's a singleton, and it uses the watch service, which basically tails the last line of the last file. It checks for sanity, that what we received actually a JSON string and not some kind of shit. And then it goes into the event registry, where we have a bunch of events registered. Events are registered like this, the event name and the class that represents it. And it uses reflection to stuff the data right here. By the name of the event, it picks up the correct data transfer object and stuffs information into it. It returns, it publishes the event on the event bus, and then subscribers, there's a directory here with classes that call subscribers. Subscribers, there they are. Subscribers, they are annotated with the word subscribe. They are instantiated by this subscriber registration class. It's this kind of class. It looks in these packages for files or other classes that have annotation at subscribe. They make instances of them, not instances, they register them on the bus as listeners. So whenever event fires, whenever there is a new line in here, the JSON parser picks it up, sticks it into data transfer object, and puts it on the event bus, fires the event, and the listeners pick up event, and then we do something with this data. Usually we stick it in a database. In some very rare cases, like some mission critical shit, we announce it. When data is stuffed into the database, it's just there waiting for us to ask a query. And then when we ask a query, is it brain handlers queries? Look, so there is a different query. So there's a different questions you can ask about the data that we collect. For example, this one, query analyze storage for materials. So if you want to know what kind of materials you have in storage, you just ask like how much tin do we have, for example, and it figures out, like, look at our material log, how much tin do we have. It sees materials, it will pick up the material analyzer thing, it will tell you us the material data standby, it will go to the database, pick up our material information, stick it into AI data structure with instructions on what to do with this data, the data itself, and the original user input, which was your question, and it will send it to LLM for processing. LLM processes all that data, returns it as JSON that's a type of chat, and we funnel it to chat, which is then goes into the voice processing. Right now it is the onboard local text-to-speech processing that I'm testing. How do commands get from the agents to the AI? You can talk to your data like the Star Trek computer. Yeah, I took a Star Trek computer as inspiration for this thing. I mean, there is another AI out there, or rather like a co-pilot sort of a thing. It's called Covas Next. That thing reads every stinking event and it just barks about it. Like, oh, you have your hard points out, and now they are not out, and now they're out again. And if you, God forbid, you start mining something and deploy 18 limpets, like your cargo scoop is out, and it's in, and it's out, and it's in, and it's out. But if you ask for any kind of information about the data, it's clueless because it doesn't know anything. It doesn't store it. So that one, you can use that one if you just want like a yappy companion that just reacts to everything, and you can have different kind of, not really personalities. You can model personalities after some TV shows or whatever. But it's just a yapper. It's not very useful. Mine is other way around. Mine does not yap as much. Right now it's yapping about exploration because I told it to. You can tell it, do not announce exploration, or do not turn off the exploration announcements, or turn off discovery announcement, or anything to that effect, and it's not gonna say anything. It will still collect data locally if you want to ask a question, but it's not going to mention anything. Same with when I jump from star to star right now, the route announcements are off. I can on. I can just ask it to turn off route announcements, and it's going to be quiet. I'll be jumping in complete silence. How does it go from AI to elite? So if I issue a command, how does it activate the command in elite? It activates a command in elite via the robot interface. It basically pushes a key on a keyboard for you. Game AP, was it AI? Ends package. It's a keybind executor. It basically executes the keys. So example, commands. These are the commands, like toggle the lights, for example. You probably saw me a bunch of times saying kill the lights. So kill the lights, turn the lights on, turn the lights off. LLM will map it to toggle lights and pass on or off into this parameter and execute this handler. This handler will pick up the thing from JSON, the state from JSON, is it on or off? And then it will figure out if you're in SRV or are you in the main ship. How do we do that? Status. Status is also a JSON. It is called status JSON. Unimaginatively. It's this file right here. So game writes into this file. And these are the flags. So there's a flag. This number is a magic number that means something. What does it mean? The meanings of it are here in the status flags. So we can compare this number to a different state. So you can be in the ship and the lights are on, or you can be in SRV, lights are on, etc., etc. So back to the handler. So let's say it says, yes, I am in SRV. It checks if lights are on or off. And if it needs to, like, in this case, on, if on and I ask to turn them on and they are already on, it's not going to do anything. But if I ask to turn them off and they're on, it is going to execute command binding buggy lights toggle. Binding buggy lights toggle is the key binding from your key binding file. What's a key binding file? Change directory back. cd ed dash bindings. cd I can't type today or any day for that matter. Less minus L. Kate. I customize my binds, otherwise it's going to be default, but I usually customize my game settings. It doesn't really matter. It picks up whatever the last file was modified. But this is the game binding file. So this is the file that game creates whenever you go into here. and you customize your controls. It creates this file and it maps, let's say, lateral thrust button. It's to fly upwards, or up thrust button. It will, in my case, it is mapped to joystick number 4 button, and on the keyboard it's key up arrow. The game has, just like a journal parser, it also has the binding parser, so it knows what you bound on your keyboard. It cannot operate your joystick, it cannot operate your mouse, but it can push on the keys. So that is how it's done. Like, for example, if I ask it to plot a route, to my fleet carrier, for example, it there's a command. There. Plot route to fleet carrier. I can say get me back to my carrier, or plot route to fleet carrier, or something to that effect, so that it knows more or less to do this. It will execute this handler. It will pick up my player session. From the player session, it will pull what my carrier location is, and then ask for the route plotter class and plot the route. And this is the sequence of the keys to plot the route. It will open the galaxy map, sleep for a little bit, wait for the galaxy map to open. It will do UI left, UI right, activate, etc, etc, etc. I can show you, in fact. Where is the thingy magic? There it is. So let's turn it back on. Plot the route back to my fleet carrier, please.
Route set. Voice input disabled.
Magic. Where was I? Yes. So it figured out where the carrier is from the data that it collects. It knows on the last carrier jump where it jumped to. It knows the star system. And now it's just punched these keys on the keyboard for you. That's it. Yes, I see, but it breaks if the key sequence is not consistent. For example, if you were on foot, different menu. Yes, on foot commands are not implemented at all. So you have to be either in ship or in SRV to plot the route. If you are on foot, you won't be able to do that, because if you're on foot, indeed, you have to open the menu in a different way. So I don't have anything done on foot yet. However, it is not impossible. Why? Because I can check here the status, and if you are not in SRV and or if you are on foot equal true, it means I will be executing different. So this is plot route method right now. I can write another method, plot route when on foot. And if you are on the foot, I can execute different sequence of commands to do that. So right now you are correct. It doesn't do it because I haven't implemented it, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Open FSS, please.
What benefits you mean? Count, exploration,
Open
perks.
FSS.
Voice input disabled.
So right now I'm scanning the stellar object here in the system, and of course this is a manual process. You cannot automate that. You have to do that yourself. But every time when I scan it, the journal file, where was our journal file? CD journal, what the hell? CD games journal. Well, this is our last journal file. 8 was journal file. So it will be adding a line. Every time I do a scan, it will add a line in here. So let me go back to the game, scan another planet. Okay, I'm about to scan it. So last event was at 23:03:45. Mm, 23:03:50 now. If it's important thing that we just scan, it will announce. Like if it's a significant discovery that like pays you credits, it will announce. Otherwise, it's not. If there is a life form present, it will announce that as well. Where do we get that information? Well, from here, from the JSON, from the events that that the game puts out. And this app can be technically it can be adapted to other flying games that have a way to integrate with them. The only thing really needs to be changed is key binding, because obviously the key binding format of that file that the other game has is different. The integration bit that reads data about the game, and the commands and queries would have to be adjusted to make sense in that game, but it can be extended to be used with another games if someone decides to fork the project and make an implementation for No Man's Sky or something. They're more than welcome to do that. It is possible. Can be all done on the same platform. When will I release this? Well, it's a very good question. When it's done. When will it be done? Hard to tell, because right now I'm the only guy who's working on it. If I get help from other people to implement things like local LLMs, things like stuff that you can do in the bubble, for example, some features with, I don't know, colonization or stuff like that. Then eventually, once it is solid, it will become version 1.
New discovery logged. Sudarsky class Roman 2 gas giant.
And will be an official release of version 1. When will that happen? Who knows? Who knows? It depends on me, my free time, and it depends on the community. If community wants to have it and wants to help, then they will come and help. If not, then not. But it's just right now, very few people know that it even exists. So it's kind of no idea. And right now I'm outside of the bubble, but I'll be making my way back to the bubble because I want to implement the trade routes. You can ask it to make me a profitable trade route, and then you just fly from place to place. It will tell you buy this over here, sell that over there. And this information is already available. I just need to integrate with it. But I got sidetracked with doing this local voice implementation. But on the sponge, if you go to the sponge, where's sponge? There's a sponge. I already have partial integration with some of the sponge stuff, but there is one called Trade Planner. So you can say, let's say, Camadeno, Copper Hub, and we want cargo capacity. You have 250 hub distance. 10. Starting capital, let's say 2 million as an example. Allow planetary landing, allow carriers, do not allow restrict access because there is no point, avoid prohibited cargo, and calculate. So it's calculating right now. The way the sponge works is first it posts this query, it's this request. It's a JSON object as well. So this can be constructed inside of the app. Some of the information, like how much cargo space we have, I know from the ship loadout, so I can automatically do that. Max, I haven't thought of how to actually input this data, but there needs to be some kind of voice-based configuration for the initial market thing. And then eventually, after it calculates the route, it returns status 202, so meaning we're waiting. We're still waiting, but eventually it will return the route which we can plot. Do I use any Windows mods inside your Wine prefix? I don't even use Wine. The game is running from Steam. Just push play on Steam and it runs on Steam as if it would be running on the deck. So there's no Wine there is Wine involved inside of the Steam and how Steam implements their game running if it's not a native game. But it's not the old school installation where you have to muck about with the Wine configuration. I didn't even touch it. I just installed Steam, downloaded my game library, push on play and go. There is one gotcha with this particular game though. Do not, if you have NVIDIA, I don't know if it is true for AMD. AMD has much better support on Linux, but I'm running NVIDIA with NVIDIA on this game specifically. Do not turn off virtual sync. If you do, you can push 200 and 300 frames per second, but next time you start the game it wouldn't start and you would have to go into the config of the game and turn this back to on, otherwise you will be stuck on the loading screen forever. It's either bug in Proton or either bug in the game, I don't know. But if this is on, you don't have any problems, you just push it and start and play, that's it. My display is 100 Hertz, so this game is capped at 100 frames per second. But other games, like Sniper Elite, for example, I'm pushing 250, 300 frames on it, no problem. Everything runs smooth. The only games I can't really run are the AAA slop with the kernel level anti-cheat. And maybe some other obscure games that I don't know exist or care. All my library runs just fine. So there, we got our route. We waited a very long time. We finally got our route. So request a response. Here's our response. We did get a response. I can see it on the page. There it is. So this is JSON. Again, we can look at the raw data in the pretty print. This is what it looks like. We'll just have to import this as an object, save it in the database as your current trade route, and guide you down this trade route, consuming the nodes as you buy and sell products. And at the end of the route, you should be able to make some cash. So that's the next thing I'll be working on. I have not figured out exactly the workflow for it, but I know it's possible to do because here's the data, here's how we can get it. So that'll be my next thing on the plate to do. It will take some time. There is... word escapes me right now. Colonization. I have not done anything with colonization. I know nothing about it. But I suppose eventually there'll be some colonization features in it as well. You can do pirate massacre missions, and you can ask it... when you stack pirate missions and you go kill pirates, you can ask it how many kills remain, and it knows how to calculate the remaining kills when you have stacked missions. Commands. Oh, where is it? Pirate something or other. Analyze pirate mission handler. So it's not AI that analyzes it, it's the app that analyzes it, because it has to go and do all of this mathematics to run through your data, because it's a very specific way how the pirate kills are being calculated when you stack them. It runs all of this math and then tells you that you still have so many kills to do. I don't know if with my latest changes I borked this in any way, shape or form, because I need to get into the bubble, stack some pirate missions and go pew pew some pirates and look at the kill counter, make sure that this still works. I didn't change anything in here. Theoretically it should be still working, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. I'll have to go back and check and make sure I didn't break anything, because it's been a while since I made that change. How long has it been? How long ago that's been? Yeah, that's been months ago. And for local LLMs, thing is that it will behave differently, not just local LLMs, but any LLMs. It will behave differently depending on what LLM we connect to. There's a huge difference between Grok and OpenAI, even though prompts are the same, interface to the LLM is the same, but behavior is radically different. Like OpenAI is a lot more chatty. It wants to give you a lot more information than you asked, whilst the Grok is much more concise. OpenLlama has many different LLMs that you can pull. You just type in OpenLlama pool and an LLM name. But since I put together some rudimentary code to see if I could connect to it, but I haven't ran it. So I don't know if it works or not, and I suspect that it doesn't. But even when I do connect to it and run it, then it will take some time to tune the prompts specifically for whatever LLM is being used, because they're all very different and they all respond in a different way. They all analyze data in a different way. They all have their own personalities, so to speak, for the lack of a better word. My personal favorite at the moment is Grok, but that favorite changes monthly. Grok released 4.1 mini, 4.1 non-reasoning, and 4.1 fast reasoning, and for about a week or so those LLMs were running super fast, like they were powered by their own personal nuclear reactor. Today, excuse me, today they kind of dial it down, and suddenly those LLMs run like they're powered by a tired hamster. I don't know, maybe they kind of hyped up the release and wanted everyone to fall in love with it. 30 milliseconds replies, and then they dial the power down. But when you run your local LLM, it will be very consistent if you run against the same one. The only problem I see that you have, that you need to pay for AI sub or maybe AI fees. Yeah, you subscribe to it and you pay as you go. So the more you use it, the more you pay. And this software, this app is using lightweight models, cheap models, fast and cheap models. So they do charge you fraction of a 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 penny. So with all my debugging, with all my playing around, I burn up about $5 a month worth of LLM charges. So I figured if I can sacrifice a burger for LLM and burger for STT a month, it's okay. Running LLM at home, yes, you're not paying for the LLM, but you are paying for the electricity, because
System scan complete.
if you want to have decent LLM, you'll have to run it on an NVIDIA chip. That means running a separate computer with NVIDIA card 100% pushing the AI. And you double your electricity cost on the running of the second machine. I have not mathed the math on that one, which one is cheaper.
Frameshift drive charging.
But as far as the entry level for the users to use the app, that is a major put off, that they cannot run it locally and they have to connect to the cloud. So
Traveling through hyperspace to Trump
Settling.
EKIB 41-0, M-Class Fuel Star. No traffic or deaths detected.
So settling on one specific voice provider, one specific LLM provider, so that instead of supporting a whole bunch of different variations of the local LLMs, I could support like one reasonably easy to install.
Hyperspace jump successful. Traveled 71.202 light to Flownth EKIB 41-0. Next, Flownth SMEB 43-16. SAR Class M. Fuel Star. 9 jumps left. Congrats, you're the first here.
So if I can pick one good standalone offline LLM and develop and perfect the prompts for that one LLM and have it work great, it would be better than trying to support 1,000 different offline LLMs that all behave in a different, unpredictable way. Because LLMs are unpredictable to a point. It's a do what I mean function. It's something that back in the 90s we as developers were just joking about. And now it is a do what I mean function. But how it will understand your meaning is a question. No, you send the prompt, but it's not 100% guarantee that it is going to actually react as you expect on that prompt. So if you use this app, you have all the mission critical controls always in your hands, like all your weapons. It doesn't fire weapons, by the way. It can't. Don't expose weapon controls to it at all on purpose, because I don't want it to misunderstand something and shoot at the ship that when I don't necessarily want to shoot at the ship, or anything else for that matter. So it is really more of a data analyzer, data kind of battler. Yes, it can help you navigate things, so you can not navigate, but no, navigate too. But yeah, it can push on the ship controls, but always have the controls in your hands. It's your co-pilot, not your autopilot. Cost varies, depends where you live. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Cost of electricity. Although I believe the electricity bills are going to start going up, because all of those data centers popping up all over the place. Since they offload the electrical bill on us, they should provide the LLM usage to us for free, don't you think? Because we're helping them to offset the electrical cost. No? Why can I not? It's right there. I can't quite pinpoint it. There, got it. Yes, There's a planet right over there. Okay, so far as offline voices go, I'm cool with it. It does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't crash. There are other different voices that we can try. To use it will not be up to me. It will be up to the user to install whatever voice they want. For the I might keep switching to this. Old habits die hard. CD disk to tools. Piper. And so I've got Amy and Joe voices. Joe is a bit cringy. Amy is kind of nice. Especially that I speed up her speaking, because by default she speaks so slowly, it's very melancholic. It's a KD 6.5 latest KD plasma. This is a Debian box. I've been jumping between GNOME and KD to GNOME back, but kind of like KD. Now that I'm used to everything on this machine and it's all set up, I'm really not touching it. It's kind of, I raised it the way I want it, and it works, and I, don't fix what ain't broken. Because I have my little laptop for playing around with other distros. And playing around with distros that are rolling distros, which means they update all the time. Debians don't update all the time. Debian's on a slow update cycle, so when you do get updates, they've been tested already. And for the main machine, I prefer stability. For the fun machine, where I just want to try all kinds of new shit and see what it's like, I have a laptop, because I know if that one works, whatever, I'll just put a stick and put a different distro on it. I just use GNOME and I push one button for everything. Yeah! Well, the beauty of Linux is that, you don't like your desktop, change it. Get tired of GNOME, switch to... I hardly slept last night, so my brain isn't braining. Hyperland, damn it. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't say it. Or just stick a distro inside the VM and play with it. Yeah, for sure. I'm currently using Debian Body Linux inside of Fedora Linux. Yeah, Fedora and Debian are quite different. The different package managing systems on them. I don't have a VM on this one right now. I used to have a VM to run Windows on it for a while, because I needed specifically stuff that is Windows only and Windows related. But as soon as that was over, RM-RF, goodbye. See ya.
Frameshift drive charging.
I do it to keep YouTube and Google trash off my main rig. Yeah, good idea.
Traveling through hyperspace to Flownth SME B43-16, M-Class Fuel Star. No traffic or deaths detected. Hyperspace jump successful. Traveled 70.77 light to Flownth SME B43-16. Next, Flownth IAZ B45-9. SAR Class M. Fuel Star. 8 jumps left. Congrats, you're the first here.
Oh wonder if the market will be the second-hand market for the PCs is going to be flooded with fairly decent PCs to put Linux on now that Windows 11 is pushing everyone to the new hardware with that spyware chip on it. And if that's the case, it will be awesome, absolutely awesome for building self-hosting stuff. There will be a huge variety of cheap PCs on the eBay when normies start selling them because they don't know what to do with it.
System scan complete.
Where are you? There you are. Turn off the route announcements, please.
Route announcements off. Voice input disabled.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now she's not going to say anything about jumps. You just deleted the Windows 10 virtual PC. It was just too slow. 11 is worse. The whole system is basically there to collect telemetry on you and push ads, build profiles, so that they can sell your data to the data brokers and do whatever else they want with it. And then, of course, if they're the
Congrats,
government,
you're the first here.
knocks on the Microsoft door and wants your data, they will get it as well. So it's a privacy concern. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old git with a gray beard, but just not into. I don't like Windows. I don't like Mac either. Although I recklessly collected like 3 MacBooks because for 16 years I was working for a company that development team was using MacBooks. They would issue us a MacBook, and at the end of life, keep it. It's yours. They wouldn't recycle them. Nice chatting. Got to go for now. Maybe I will check in a few days. Alrighty. Well, I'll probably also close the stream because I just wanted to show that Viper is up and running and working. So we do have one offline solution for the text-to-speech at least. Have no idea if it runs on Windows though. If anybody knows, let me know. Or if anyone wants to contribute a README for how to install Viper TTS on Windows, I would post it in the project as instructions because I have no way to test it. Alrighty, have a wonderful afternoon, evening, happy holidays. I will be signing off too in a moment. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you later.